to going back to see Byron Nelson as well.
You're right, Chris. Harry Saladins is the defending champion at Las Vegas. And Alan Bishop, the lefty, conquered an all left-handed field in a high-scoring event at the Quaker State last year. Now, Amletto Monacelli is finishing the last of 6 practice balls before the championship match. And I said before we went on the air, we're all getting a double dip this week, Chris. 2 championship matches almost. This was one for the Phoenix Open, and next, the King of the Hill.
Well, Parker Bohn III, the nearly $700,000 earned on the lanes, going against Monacelli, one of 8 players to accomplish over the $1 million mark with 13 championships. Here's Parker's first shot.
That needs a lot of help.
Boy, oh boy, it leaves the 6-7 kind of unusual for a left-hander, and you could hear from his wireless mic a lot of help. He knew he threw that way wide. He has to get the ball over to the right-hand side of the 6-pin and slide the 6 into the 7. It's makeable for Parker, but tougher for a left-hander than it is for a right-hander because his ball is going away from the 6-pin. First frame.
Hoping for a lucky bounce. So it's an open frame for a man that's won 2 games this afternoon, 7 strikes in each of the 2, and now here he is. Twice Player of the Year, back-to-back 89 and 90, Amletto Monacelli. First tournament here in 93 for him. Incredible athlete, 5'8", 150 pounds, 31 years old.
Amletto Monacelli just has developed into arguably one of the very, very best bowlers in the world. That open hand at the top of the swing, the high profile. Look at how deep and at the line. We were talking about Parker Bohn being low at the line, that good long slide, the solid pivot step, and on balance. Neither one of these players fall off balance despite a tremendous lift on the ball.
Okay, Amletto, who is the top seed. He won in Taylor, Michigan from the top seed.
Parker Bohn cannot let Monacelli get away from him, even in the early going. Monacelli will not look back and let him catch up.
So as Parker now moves to the left side, replay.
Headpin does the damage. We talk about the powerful bowling balls these players are using. Headpin sideboard. 5 years ago, Chris, that would have been a 7-pin standing. Right now, the headpin comes flying across, takes out the 7. Parker Bohn has a chance for a double in the 3rd frame.
Hook! Get up!
All right, cuts Amletto's lead to 11. Amletto with a double, and he is shooting in the 3rd frame. Amletto last year also won the Choice Hotels event in Edmond, Oklahoma. Choice Hotels will be bringing you our tip of the week each week. Dick Weber with his guests. Today was Carmen Salvino.
Amletto waiting for the left-hand lane to re-rack the pins. There are normally 21 pins in a rack. You see 10. There's 10 more you can hear cycling around back there, and we stick an extra one in so that doesn't happen. However, there was a slight delay. Now Monacelli 2 strikes in a row, 3rd frame. That's about as good a shot as you can see of a solid 10. That ball entered the pocket from that low camera angle. The 6 just flying around the 10.
We mentioned our next 2 stops. Well, this man has won 13. One of them was in Las Vegas in '88. 2 weeks from today in Grand Prairie, he won there in 1991. Amletto Monacelli. Monacelli's had some concerns recently outside of bowling. Listen.
Well, I was working a little bit in my clothing stores, and however, November 27, we had a military take over the government, and the first thing I thought was just to leave the country and come here with my wife, and thank God, nothing happened 3 days later. It's like nothing happened, and everything's okay. I'm ready to bowl again.
Okay, we're in our championship match for the Phoenix Open title, then the King of the Hill. More after this. Yes, 4 of those trotters were here earlier. They're fun. Wide World next. Now it's Parker Bohn.
Come on.
That was big because he had a double working, Nelson. Putting it even on the match as we go to a great champion, Mark McDowell.
Ron, great win last week for you. This week you finished 102nd. What are you going to do today that you didn't do all week?
Well, Mark, I came out and practiced last night after the finals was over with, and I used the ball that I hadn't tried all week, unfortunately. But I think I have a good shot today, and I'm going to give it the best shot here.
Okay.
His opponent yet to be determined. This match all even, 2 great champions. 4th frame, they are tied going into the 5th. 3 in a row.
He leads by 10. Parker Bohn, who won the first 2 games here in the Phoenix Open, going against the tournament leader Amletto Monacelli. Mark McDowell, our On the Lanes reporter today, named the Bowling Writers Player of the Year. Earlier, David Farrar was named the PBA Player of the Year. He was on our telecast last week. Bang, bang. All even again.
Monacelli, who has not only one of the great physical games, but one of the great mental games, is a pretty much of a power player with accuracy. He'll stand to the left side of the approach and then drift a little bit more left. This allows him to swing the ball inside out, and then his target will be right between the 2nd and 3rd arrows. He is even in a match right now, can take a 10-pin lead, 6th frame.
Okay, the winner of this game will get $24,000, but he'll also have a shot at $5 grand. Next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, dreams of glory on the line at the United States Figure Skating Championships presented by VSAT. First at 4:30 Eastern and Pacific, Todd Eldridge tries for his 3rd U.S. championship in the men's final live. Then, in a special, our live coverage continues as Olympic medalist Nancy Kerrigan goes for her first national title. It's next Saturday, ABC's Wide World of Sports. And, of course, our heroine, Peggy Fleming, will be there doing commentary.
And doesn't she look lovely? Boy, oh boy.
Always.
Parker Bohn keeps the match even. 2 experienced pros in their prime going head-to-head. Parker Bohn 5 strikes in a row after an opening 6